Hey, my friends, it's Jeff Smith from HigherTrustMarketing.com. Hey, glad to have you with us today. I want to touch on today a topic that I think stumps a lot of online entrepreneurs, a lot of online business people, anybody trying to grow your business online. You get thrown at you many times. You've got to have more value. You've got to create value. If you're trying to come up with a product, it's got to be valuable for your marketplace. If you're trying to come up with content, it's got to be valuable for your marketplace. You know the routine. It gets used. If there's a single day goes by where you don't hear that expression that you've got to offer more value to your marketplace. Yet, when we work with people through the coaching program on Info Marketer Zone, we find that people really don't understand how to create valuable material. And it's a bit ironic, isn't it? Because we certainly know what's valuable to us. At least we do in the moment. We know what we want. We know what's going to add value. It's either going to speed up a process to accomplishing an end goal, or it's going to, it could be we're trying to lose weight and we're looking if somebody can just give us the secret that's going to get us there in sort of 15 to 30 days in a less painful way, that's valuable to us. Or the thing is, right? Think about it. It's kind of sporadic. It depends on where you are emotionally at a given point in time, right? What you find valuable. If you've got a problem with your child trying to get into a school, then for the next 2 or 3 weeks, you really immerse yourself and you would really find it valuable if somebody could help you find the right school for your child. Or if you're going through a health challenge, same thing, right? It's usually a period of time where you just fully immerse yourself in it. It's almost instinctual. It's not something that you tend to think about a lot. So this is why I think a lot of people struggle with it is, when we're at our most urgent, when we're looking for solutions and when we want to buy something, to see valuable content, it's when we're at that deep-seated, almost unconscious level of really having urgent desire, emotionally driven desire, and we don't think about it very much. Not in the frontal cortex, it's not in the front of the brain very much, right? So that's what you're trying to tap into as an online entrepreneur when you develop valuable content, when you develop valuable products, whether you're a coach, a consultant, somebody who creates digital courses, whatever your need to solve this problem is online, but we all have to create value. It's the way we get attention. It's the way we persuade people. It's the way we add credibility, add warmth. It's the way that we actually get people to buy from us and get people to buy from us again and again. So it's a very important problem to solve. So I'm going to take you through 3 steps that's critical when you're trying to develop valuable content. And I think a lot of you, when you hear this, it's going to start triggering some things and it will help you a lot. So leave a comment and share this if you really do find it valuable, because I think you're going to find it immensely valuable. I know I do, and I have to go back to this, because this is such a deep emotional, instinctual process in the brain that you have to force yourself to consciously review it, especially when you're trying to create products. So the first one I'm going to list is to find pockets of desire, and that can be expressed as demand for an existing product, and you can reverse engineer what's the desire behind it. It can be desire that's just overt. It can be, people asking for things, people expressing desires on forums, people expressing desires personally to you in groups that or it can be the source of a frustration. It can be a frustration, which in turn always has a flip side to a desire to avoid that frustration. Right? So those 3 ways. You can usually find it through looking and reverse engineering. If somebody's buying a whole lot of books in a certain segment or a lot of a course, if a course is hot, then you can reverse engineer it and really find what's the desire behind people buying that course or product for that matter. You can actually see people saying, I want a solution to this problem. You can look at Yahoo Answers, you can look at Quora, you can look at forums, as I mentioned, you can look at blog comments, all kinds of places where you can see people overtly asking for solutions for problems. And then a great one is just because everybody loves to share their frustrations, right? And you can reverse engineer frustrations and see, okay, what was the desire that's on the flip side of that frustration that people want to avoid, want to speed up, want to lessen the pain, lessen the embarrassment, lessen, whatever it is that's causing them that frustration. So you should become an expert at sort of digging and finding that desire, exploring a market. It's all around us, believe me. It's so easy if you put your mind to this for half an hour to go online in your marketplace or just, ask people or think about it in your own background, you'll be amazed at how quickly you'll be able to come up with these things. And so let me just stop that here. And so once you have that desire, it's so much easier to then identify. The next phase is identifying, well, okay, who are the people associated with that desire? How do you create my customer avatar? Who is it? Not just demographics. So is it a young female that wants to do, personal training for a very specific reason, an emotional need? Either it's they need to be in a group setting, or they want to lose weight off a certain part of their body, for example. I'm just throwing out examples. But you also want to know where they hang out, where do they look for information online. So you build out a customer avatar from sort of who they are to why they're looking for information, where they will look for information, what they will specifically look for, how they talk, how they, all of that kind of stuff is important. And believe me, the vast majority of people that I talk to in the coaching program, some of which have been in business for a long time and have struggled, are struggling exactly because of this. They either have not found a strong pocket of desire, right? Or they haven't done a good job of refining that in their heads. They have maybe a general sense, but they haven't really zoned in on it and made it clear. Or they don't know exactly who they're targeting. So those are important. And then the third step, of course, is to, once you've found the pocket of desire, you know exactly who you're targeting. It's at that point to identify what. So here's a good exercise. Take a piece of paper, draw a line on the left, draw a line way on the right, draw a line between. That's the value scale, right? And the left represents where someone is today. The right represents where they want to be. And there are several steps along the way, and you'll be able to identify those steps. So your first goal is to identify where they are today and where they want to be. The second step is to fill in the various milestones on the way to get there. Now what you want to do is you want to place yourself on that grid. Are you going to provide the entire solution? Are you going to take somebody who's already halfway there and get them the rest of the way there? Are you going to provide someone just the first 3 or 4 steps to get them on their journey, right? It's a very powerful way to develop your own solution system and understand what value are you going to offer to that marketplace now that you know what they want and who they are, right? So go through that exercise as well. And we teach all this inside infomarketerzone.com, by the way. In the first few weeks of training, we dig into these spaces and we understand marketplaces. We tell you where to look to be able to find these pockets of desire and demand, how to become a hunter. And that's a lifelong skill. Once you know it, you'll never lack for opportunity again because you'll know where to find it all around you. And then once you have that, we'll talk about how do we reverse engineer who that person is, the avatar, and then we'll talk about how do you put together your own solution system. And really, that is 90% of the entire process of doing any business online. Whether at that point you can go find a product to fill in the gap, you can go develop a product to fill in a gap. And once you know exactly what gaps you're focusing on, you can outsource that. You can easily develop it yourself in a matter of a few days. It's just because of the clarity and exact purpose that once you've gone through this exercise, it makes things so much simpler. So that's how you add value online. Now, 2 other things that can help increase the amount of value if you can do it in an entertaining way, right? So not all heavy content, mix of light and heavy, be entertaining, be funny, use case studies, use real life examples, but still associated with, your audience is one way to do that. And of course, getting results and showing proof is another big way that you can just balloon that whole value proposition. So once you've done these 3 things, being able to show that, hey, it's really helped somebody, I've been able to help somebody move from, that line on the left side halfway to the line on the right side, being able to prove that. And that's just as simple as putting the system together, putting it in front of some beta customers, testing it ahead of time, and and then using that as social proof. So hope that's been useful for you today. If it has, let me hear from you. Let me hear a comment below. We'll do more of these. And share it with everybody whether you're seeing this on Facebook. I'm going to be putting it up on Instagram TV, on YouTube. We'll be spreading it around because it's a very powerful message. It's a message that we find comes up over and over again with people that are struggling online. So hope you guys have an awesome day. Want to hear from you. Have a great day, guys.